Hi, I'm Blythe Stevens of A Blythe Coach, dance education and coaching to move through life with balance, grace, and power. So please begin by finding a comfortable seat, either directly on the floor. It might be more comfortable with a carpet or a cushion, or even a yoga block like I have with me today, a meditation cushion, a regular pillow, a folded towel or blanket. Whatever is required to find a position that's comfortable to be seated in for a while, where you feel well supported and also relaxed. This means that we're also finding a broad base of support. If we're sitting in a chair, that might be right onto both sit bones as well as the back of the thighs, or if we're sitting in a cross-legged position on the ground, then the weight is distributed across both sit bones as well as the knees, lower legs, and thighs in a triangular position. And this triangular position is a very wonderfully stable position for sitting. As we're settling into this position, we may wish to take some gentle movements to release any excess tension that we might currently be holding. For me, that usually involves a couple circles of the shoulders, relaxing the neck and upper back and shoulder area. You can take more of a freestyle flow, loosen it out. We could also take some gentle side stretches to work on the shoulder, side, body. And it also can take the form of some lower arm relaxation. Maybe we're holding tension in the hands or wrists, and some circles or some gentle massage might help us to release that, as well as some gentle circles of the head. Once you're done stretching out the arms and lower arm and hand area, we can decide whether to rest the hands directly palm down onto the thighs, which is a very grounding shape, or to rest them palms up on the back of the hand, which is a more open and receptive shape. I've noticed in my work as a dancer and also as a yoga practitioner, the similarity in the way that we use the supportive musculature in the body to perform the movements that we are trying to accomplish. So both with dance and with yoga, there are certain universal anatomical principles that help us to perform successfully. One of these is breath and core support. So in dancing, we might say things like lift the belly button up, use your core, draw the belly button in towards the spine, close the rib cage, engage through the center, feel length or elongate your posture through the spine from the support, which is your feet, or also from the pelvis through the crown of the head. And there are specific shapes that we're trying to make, but also dynamic actions that are supporting those shapes. In yoga, we do use pranayama or breath techniques as well as postures to develop also stability and ease. And Patanjali in the Yoga Sutras even speaks of this balance or the necessity for having both steadiness and ease. Vaganova, in her manual on classical ballet technique, calls it stability and aplomb. Very important both to dance and to yoga. The uddiyana bandha, right here in the core of the torso. So you can see the transverse abdominis here that goes side to side along the bottom of the rib cage all the way down the trunk, and then also the rectus abdominis that runs up and down. All of that is engaged in the uddiyana bandha. So sitting here comfortably, after we've settled in, chosen our hand position, release that excess tension. A really useful way to practice engaging the uddiyana bandha through our belly is actually by practicing Kapalabhati breathing. This is known as the skull shining breath, or also the breath of fire. Here's a little bit more on Kapalabhati from Anatomy of Hatha Yoga by David Coulter. Kapalabhati is one of the 6 classic cleansing exercises in Hatha Yoga and is especially effective in lowering alveolar carbon dioxide in the lower segments of the lungs. Like the bellows, Kapalabhati is not only energizing, it develops strength and stamina, and it teaches you to coordinate the abdominal muscles for skillful use in other exercises such as agni, sara, uddiyana, bandha, and nauli. So I think Kapalabhati is also a really nice pranayama technique to practice in the fall because in some parts of the world it is getting cooler, so we might be looking to generate a bit more heat and internal engagement and integration that way. And also because fall is a time that invites us to let go of waste, things which are unnecessary, things which are not supporting us anymore. And so this sort of cleansing of the stale carbon dioxide that normally remains in the lungs is a nice way to symbolically release things that we don't need and that don't serve us. If done properly, this can be both energizing and relaxing. The emphasis is on the exhale. So it's going to sound like a sniffing sound as I practice this. I'm breathing through the nose, but I am allowing the inhale to take place passively because of the vacuum I've created in the lungs and in the torso from the forceful exhale. The inhale happens automatically. Fresh oxygen will flow back into the body without me having to will it so. So we'll start out slowly and then find our own rhythm for Kapalabhati. So quick is great, but it does not have to be super fast. The emphasis is simply on forcibly exhaling while we draw, of course, the belly and the uddiyana bandha in, and then allow it to refill with oxygen quickly as well. So it looks and sounds a little bit like this. And about that much, 5 or 10 seconds is fine to start. Then we'll take a break, breathe normally, and we can resume the practice or perhaps take a break and resume at a later time. So let's draw in a nice relaxed inhale and exhale cycle and then start our Kapalabhati breathing. Of course, we can have a soft focus of the eyes down in front of us, even close the eyes. There's limited movement, or we're trying for a stable posture in the shoulders and chest, so it's not so much happening from the upper body, but really from the lower core, all the muscles which are supporting, connecting the rib cage and the pelvis and supporting our breathing. So here's that long last breath cycle. And then we'll start our breath of fire. And then return to breathing naturally. I do feel a little bit of a shine or a tingle in the crown of the head, the skull shining out. I hope you've enjoyed this pranayama practice today. Let me know in the comments below what you thought, how this went for you in practice. Of course, if you have any particular physical concerns, this would be important to take up with your medical professional. And if you did enjoy this practice, you want to learn more about yoga, dance, and all of the techniques that I practice, please do like my channel, subscribe, click that little notification bell to make sure you get notifications of future videos, and check out my website at ablythecoach.com. That's ablythecoach.com.